Oh, no problem that time. So, it's the first weekday after declaring I quit, and I want to do bigger and greater things with my own business and with Amazon, anything over the internet, blah, blah, blah. It was nice waking up 9 o'clock in the morning today. For the past, how long has it been? 13 years or so? For most of my career, I've had to wake up as early as 4:30 in the morning to, for a good 7 years or so, 5 o'clock in the morning. Just because in the Bay Area, commutes are really, really bad. And it takes a while to get to one of the big cities like San Francisco or Oakland. And being that the longest job I held throughout my career was in international sales, it helped to come in early and also subsequently leave early, just so I could talk to customers when they were still awake. So it's very different waking up 9 o'clock on a weekday. I always thought I would feel like $1 million waking up, being able to wake up at like 7 o'clock on a weekday. But no, it's still feel kind of average. So, you know, maybe it's just freedom is already getting to be, I should say carefully what I want to convey, but I don't have true freedom just yet. Like, I have freedom for my job, but that financial freedom that like Stefan James and others have, where they assumingly just travel all over the place while working and get to go wherever and whenever they want. You know, that's a challenge when you're only making like $6,000 to $7,000 a month from your online business. That's where things seem to be pacing to be for the end of this month, just with Amazon and everything I have going on online. And I'll have an earnings report too, but it looks like I'm on pace towards making $6,000 this month, maybe $7,000 if one student of mine closes on being a one-on-one mentee of mine for coaching. But even though it sounds really cool to say I'm making that much money online, now wholly depending on that income to make a living, that's another ball game. So yeah, I really don't have a choice but to get my earnings up. There's just no way I can keep going on with the intention of having a better lifestyle. I need to be making like right now, at least $10,000 a month, or else, you know, I would have been better off just working a day job along with, you know, doing this whole online thing. So that is definitely the priority. It's just not acceptable to, I mean, unless you're living in like Chiang Mai or Bangkok or Hanoi, you know, in the Pacific Southeast, and yeah, you could totally get away with making even like $3,000 a month, I suppose, maybe even $2,000. But I have a certain standard of how I've been living, and I'm not gonna give that up. Like, I won't lie, I love spending money, so I'm not gonna change that about myself. I am, of course, gonna cut down some costs. Like, I'm not gonna buy frivolous shit at this point just yet. And I am being a little bit more mindful about groceries and stuff. But other than that, no, I'm not gonna live like a so-called digital nomad, you know, bragging about my $1 lunches. Like, that's not the way to live, especially here in America. So, you know, gotta keep pushing. As far as you guys, you know, pushing, how many of you are actually sincere about wanting to quit your job, your 9 to 5, your grind, that vocation you oh so despise, so that you can have more time for yourself, for your family, for your hobbies? What were you doing last weekend? Were you having a whole bunch of recreational time and no focus on what you were supposed to be doing with growing your Amazon Kindle publishing business? I mean, it's okay. I won't lie. I take have recreational time too, but how much of your time over the weekend was actually focused when you don't already have a lot of time to work with throughout the weekdays? How much time did you really spend on your business? Now, the answer to that is going to be, I'd say, in high correlation with how well you do with, online business opportunities, not just Amazon publishing. If you're just watching, I don't know, like the Rocky series over your weekend and not putting any work, you're not going to make it. Like, you can't expect to put out average effort and expect extraordinary results. It's just not going to fucking happen. I mean, if you watch Gary Vee and Grant Cardone and Dan Lok and all those guys, yeah, I don't want to parrot them, but it's entirely true. And I know this firsthand. Like, you gotta work on your weekends if you want to get shit done. That's like your only available free time to get anything done. I mean, aside from maybe some weeknights or some hours you might spend in your workplace, which is not ideal. Yeah, I suppose everyone has their Sabbath, their holy day, their church day. Hey, you'd be better than just work your ass off in the mornings and evenings when you're allowed to work, and on your other weekend, blow through it and work your ass off, like, get it done. And with Amazon, people think to themselves, well, I already published my 2 books for the month. What else am I supposed to do with my spare time? Jeez, there's a lot you could do with your spare time. Research more keywords, get more outlines done for your planned books, come up with a plan to execute, or even look at your finances. Like, how much cash flow are you bringing in through your job, your other sources of income? How much can you afford to pay yourself? And by paying yourself, I don't mean going to the movies or buying a car or more makeup. Like, none of that shit. What I'm talking about is how much more can you spend on yourself for your business to invest on or in. So, if you're at a point where you're making maybe $50,000 a year, what does that equate to monthly? Like, I haven't made that little in a while. That sounds bad. It's around like 4,300 gross, right? A little, maybe 4,200. But going on with that, I'd say if you're making that much money, and you're in a decent area where you're not being killed by the cost of living, you want to be able to take 10% of what you're making monthly and invest it. So if you're making, like, let's just keep it simple, $5,000 a month, if you really want to get anywhere with your online business opportunity, take 10%, $500, and invest it. Whether it's Kindle publishing, whether it's your cryptocurrency schemes, like whatever you've got going on, stocks, Forex, whatever, invest it and make the most out of it. If you're not putting in effort, and if you're not putting in money, and that's just the way it is, sorry, you're not going to make it. But to keep things a little bit more optimistic, for the people I know who have put the time, they've failed. They've actually failed lots. I've failed lots with lots of books. I've messed up big earlier this year with crypto, big time, bigger than any of you have ever lost, possibly ever in your lives. And I'm not a rich guy, so it hurt. But I came back, put the work through that I learned from Kindle publishing and even a little bit from crypto, with just making able to monitor my expenses, monitor cash flow, come up with a plan to execute and to do so, and go from literally $20,000 in debt to now being cash positive and in a position where I'm able to quit my job in just 6 months. I mean, when I think about it like that, that's pretty crazy. But is it extraordinary? I don't think so. I think any of you can do it. Just got to put in the work and the time. Now, as far as like deliverables, as far as how you should, exactly what you should be doing, sure, let's not make this too general. So, for Kindle publishing, most of you have keywords that suck. So, not to toot my own horn, but if you're not in my course, learn how to research keywords better and find better keywords that are more profitable without a lot of competitors that you could feasibly do at least decent with. Okay? Once you have that, put effort into the outline for your books in terms of what problems do my customers have that needs to be solved, and how will my content directly address those problems. I mean, likewise too, not just with the table of contents, but even the title, the subtitle, what should all those be? Like, you have to be strategic about these things. Otherwise, this is not a business where you can just, put up 100 shit books, those low content books, and expect to make any significant amount of money. Like, with those low content books, yeah, you're essentially, putting a lot of lines out there, waiting for something to hit. And, that's not how books should really be done in terms of publishing. Now, let's say you have about fake reviews and all that. I understand. I really hate review swaps, but it's a necessary evil. But I don't want to get too off on a tangent. You have to be able to plan ahead your next moves. Call your shots. If you're broke this month and you're going to have money next month for like $1,000 to spend on Amazon publishing, okay, line up 3 books that you can budget $330 on each, and plan everything. The title, the subtitle, the outline, the description, the hook, the problems it's going to solve. Like, get methodical about it. Once you do that, you have a much better chance of succeeding than, I would say, 90% of the Kindle publishing community that I've encountered. The community that seems to think it's going to be all right and acceptable to just copy everyone else's book with a certain subject and what you're trying to solve, or what content you're bringing. You don't want to be the 20th entry for essential oils, or even the 200th entry for essential oils, and expect to really make any money. Unless you've got something really compelling about essential oils, you're probably not going to do that well, as you're no different from your competitors. So why would you expect to do well with your book that is essentially the same as everyone else's? So, yeah, that's some food for thought. Make the most use of your time. Don't blow it on things that have been keeping you average thus far. If you've been spending your time playing League of Legends this whole summer and you really want to make money online, guess what, guys? Unless you're Bjergsen or Jensen, you're not going to be making money streaming League of Legends this fall and winter. Okay, it's not going to make you money. So, at least reduce the time you're playing or, fooling around. Reduce that time. I didn't say eliminate it. I want to be, not entirely a dick, but reduce that time and be more productive with what time you do have. And that's how you see results. As far as me, it's of 11 o'clock. Going to be heading out to a place where I think will be my first virtual workstation. So, checking out some cool office space. And why that is, it's a little bit different from what most people think in terms of a shared workspace. So, maybe I'll share it, or maybe I'll save it for later. But I'm on my way to check it out. So, till then, see you guys later.